Hey, what's good with you today, collective? Hope all is well. I think I just got something kind of like a message, a vision that I wanted to share with you. It's interesting that when I was meditating, it must have been like either 2 or 3 days ago. I was like in the middle of the meditation, so I didn't stop to write it down or anything like that. I didn't even like really recognize it at that time. But I was in the middle of meditating, and I got this vision. It was a very interesting imagery. It was so clear. It was a full moon, and there was my indication told me that it was a raven, but I was thinking even at the time that it could be a crow, but I decided on a raven. I don't know whether I was looking at the beak in the vision or whatever, but it just seemed like it was a raven, and it was flying across a full moon. And I'm not saying I was close to the moon or close to the raven, but it's like the raven was like, it took up like a big part of the moon. And it wasn't like flying in slow motion, but I mean, it was like time is not what it seems. But anyway, I looked up the spiritual significance of this because I was just like doing something. I was actually working on a project. And this this image, not an image, a reminder or something, it just came across my mind about a raven. And then I was immediately able to see the moon. And then I remembered the raven across the moon. And I looked up the spiritual significance of it. And this is what it is. It says, a raven flying across the moon symbolizes deep mystery, magic, and a major life change. It shows a bridge between the light of truth and the dark unknown. It often means you are ready for a powerful spiritual shift. Now, it says a lot more, but I'm just going to read maybe the first part. It says spiritual meanings. It says magic and mystery. The raven holds secret wisdom. The moon shows hidden truths. Together, they mean magic is near. That's what I wanted to talk with you about right quick, collective. This is what I understand, and I'm not saying I completely understand it. All I'm going to say is, I would say that I didn't. Maybe in the past, because I'm a scientist. I've always been a scientist. I'm always going to be a scientist. I love God. I seek the truth, but I don't think I used to believe in magic so much. I mean, I used to love magic when I was a kid. I used to always play those role-playing games and stuff like that. But believing in it, I'm not saying I believe in it now, collective. All I'm saying is this. I believe that if magic is going to come into your life, I'm not sure whether you have to believe in it or not. Whether for magic to be able to come and operate, magical effects and things in your life. But I believe that it does. I believe you have to believe in it. And this is the way, that I understand magic. I had a spiritual teacher, and I didn't even know he was a spiritual teacher at the time. I thought he was a friend, and he is. But he used to do this thing I didn't quite understand. He had these runes. He used to carry them in a pouch. And sometimes he would just throw them. He didn't say anything about them. He was minding his own business. And for the most part, I used to mind my own business. And so, but one time I asked him, I was like, hey, what's the deal? What's the deal with that? I was like, is that magic or something like that? But what he said to me, meant a lot. It's not that I didn't know it. He said that love is the best magic. And it's like when he said it, it was already implied, and I already knew the rest of it. It was like, if it's the best magic, it's really the only magic that you need, right? We didn't have that conversation. That was the end of the conversation. He just said love is the best magic. I left it at that. But it's always been the only magic that I ever really needed. Love and God. Because if love is the best magic, then that makes God true magic. Anyway, do you believe? Collect. You don't have to share that answer with anybody else. Anyway, I just saw this like raven found across the moon. It's like magic might be in the air. We got the Lionsgate Portal Collective. You might be able to use some of that to manifest your dreams. You know what I'm saying? In a magical, hopeful, you know what I'm saying, loving way. I love you, collective. Respect. More time. Peace. See?